Jesse Rodriguez versus Estrada goes down this weekend. And yes, I cannot wait for this fight. I honestly think it's one of the most unpredictable fights in boxing right now. I've had a hard time really thinking about this and actually finding a winner for this fight. God, it's been one of the most unpredictable ones for me in a long time, but I'm actually going with the upset here, and I'm going with Estrada to beat Bam. I've been originally going towards Bam, but now today I've actually been thinking Estrada will win, and I'm sticking with that prediction. Um, like people might say I'm delusional because Estrada surprisingly is a massive underdog. Like I expected him to be underdog going into the fight on the odds, but I didn't expect him to be as big of an underdog as he is. But I do think he will pull it off. Obviously, he hasn't fought since I think like a year and a half now, since late 2022 in that trilogy against Chocolatino. He hasn't fought since then, but I am going with him to win. I think there's too many people saying, oh, Estrada's old now. Like, the guy's 34. I mean, he's not exactly old. He's still got enough in the tank, in my opinion. And I do think for Estrada, he has been kind of right to take a bit of a break off of boxing because, let's be real, it's a well-deserved break. The amount of fights he's had, the trilogies with Chocolatino might have taken the obvious out of him. So he's had like a year and a half to recover. Now he's back and even tougher fight now against Bam, which I do believe he will be able to pull off a win in. It's a really interesting one, in my opinion. It's a really interesting one because they're both so bloody good, aren't they? They're both ridiculously clever fighters. And there's so many ways for both guys to win this fight. But I think Estrada will win. And what I think is that when you're up against someone like Estrada, he's very, very, very clever with his work. And when we saw Bam against Sonny, I think Sonny got more success than I think people remember in that fight. Like Bam is definitely winning the fight, but Sonny got the odd bit of success, and I'm there thinking, if Bam gets hit with some of those shots that Sonny was hitting him with, then I think Estrada will be able to land to leave a bit of an impact on Bam, and that's what I'm thinking here. And I think Estrada's been in there with the very best. Bam's been in there with some solid fighters as well, but I don't think Bam's fought at the level Estrada has. I think Estrada's really good at fighting up close on the inside. And I think he really could work the body of Bam. And Estrada's very clever because he always changes up his combinations. He never does the same thing. So I feel like he's going to be hard for Bam to really figure out. I mean, Bam's also really good on the inside as well, though. So if there's a firefight, what could happen here? Because both guys are really good boxers. Both guys have got really big power as well. So it's going to be interesting. Like, overall, Estrada's not like a massive one-punch knockout artist. But he's very good at being able to break you down with his shots and outbox you and just really wear you down. That's what Estrada's good at, and always changes up what he does. And Estrada's also got good on the outside as well. He's very good at being able to box backwards as well on that back foot when you're coming at him. He's good with his counters, very quick, changes angles well. That's what Estrada does. Bam does change angles really well as well, though. That's the thing. Bam's very, very, very good at changing angles, puts his shots together well. Like, both guys are ridiculously quick and change up what they're doing. But overall, I feel like Estrada might be better in a firefight than what Bam would be in this fight, though. I just have that feeling that I think Estrada will be able to get a points decision win here. I think people are really underestimating Estrada coming into this fight. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. As much as I rate Bam Rodriguez, as much as I rate him, I think people are just really overlooking Estrada here. This is a really difficult fight for Bam. I think this is definitely a tougher fight for Rodriguez than what Sonny Edwards was as well, in my opinion. I think this is a ridiculously tough one for Bam. But as I've been saying again, this is tough for Estrada as well. Like, it's like, how is Estrada holding up after those Chocolatino trilogies? People are going to say that that's going to go against him, but I feel like Estrada taking a year and a half out might actually benefit him coming into this fight, because, you know, he's had time to rest up, rethink things, and I'm sure he's been studying BAM forever as well, getting his game plan all sorted. I think Estrada's knew that this fight's definitely been in the works, in my opinion, time. So yeah, and overall, at times we do see Bam cross his feet a bit, and that, I think, eventually Estrada could catch Bam off balance, to be fair. Because, you know, every time Estrada hits you, like, you need to think he's not a light puncher whatsoever. Like, every shot Estrada lands on you's damaging. Like, he's a dangerous guy to be in there with, and, you know, you don't really want to be in a brawl with him up close. And, you know, he's very good at being able to box you from the outside as well. And I feel like Estrada's going to be able to mix things up here. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think there's going to be people calling me delusional, saying that Estrada will win, but I think people are really, really, really underestimating Estrada coming into this fight. You know, the guy is absolutely elite. Let's be real. He is. Loads of people are underestimating him. And I feel like Estrada is still a real top-level guy, 100%, no matter what people say. He 100% is, and I still think he's top guy in the division overall, to be fair. Like, yes, he's been out for a bit, but as I've been saying, it could be benefiting him coming into this fight as well, in my opinion. But I see Estrada being able to slowly be able to break Bam down a bit, and I think Estrada is going to be able to win a decision here. It could be close on points. I reckon Estrada probably like 8-4 rounds. I don't think there'll be any knockdowns here, but I feel like both guys are going to get hurt. But I feel like both guys are going to have good moments. But I think Estrada will do enough to be able to pick up the rounds, in my opinion. I think, you know, Estrada might be able to start well. I think Bam might come into it more in the middle rounds, and Estrada would take over possibly again late, in my opinion, as well. Or Estrada might need to try and pick up the majority of, the early and mid rounds, and then Bam might come onto it late, but Estrada might have done just enough. Because, yeah, thinking about it, that's might what happen, because I feel like Estrada I feel like, you know, Estrada might slow down a bit later on in the fight, to be fair, but I feel like he might have been able to do enough by the time the points decision comes, to be fair. That's what I'm saying. I think Estrada will nick this one, in my opinion. That's what I'm going to say. I feel like he would end up being able to outwork Bam from some good work in the earlier and mid rounds. That's what I'm saying. Estrada will win this fight, and I feel like he will shock quite a few people in this one as well, because I've seen the majority of people picking Bam. The odds are favoring Bam. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going with the underdog here. It's a risk. It's definitely a risk of a prediction, but I'm going for it. I'm saying Estrada wins. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, Ken. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching.